Have you ever felt it? That strange, unnerving mix of safety and suffocation. That feeling of being cherished, but only as long as you stay inside a beautifully decorated cage. Have you ever had a man, a boss, a partner, a political figure offer to shield you from the big, scary world, and a part of you felt relieved, while another, deeper part felt a quiet, chilling alarm? This isn't just a feeling, it's a political strategy, and it's one of the oldest, most powerful tools of control. The great German-American philosopher Hannah Arendt, who escaped the horrors of Nazi Germany and spent her life dissecting power, once wrote, "The sad truth is that most evil is done by people who never make up their minds to be good or evil." What does this have to do with the appeal of a strongman leader? It's everything. It's about the subtle, seductive invitation to stop thinking, to stop choosing, and to let a protector decide for you. Today, we're going to dissect the powerful, hidden rhetoric of the protective father, personified in modern politics by figures like Donald Trump, and understand, through the wisdom of Hannah Arendt, why it's so alluring and why it's the most profound threat to the mature woman's power. For generations, we were sold a very specific story, a kind of social fairy tale. The script went something like this: be a good girl, be agreeable, be beautiful, and a strong man will come to build a fortress for you. He will handle the messy world, and your reward will be safety and provision. This is the foundational promise of patriarchy. Now, look at the political stage. When a figure like Donald Trump stands at a podium and says, "I alone can fix it," what is he doing? He is taking that exact domestic script and projecting it onto the entire nation. He is offering to be the father of the country, not its president. A president is an equal among citizens in a republic. A father is the authority in a private household. This confusion is deliberate. The promise is intoxicating. The world is chaotic, frightening, and complex. There are economic threats, cultural shifts, global instability. The protective father figure looks into the camera and says, "Don't you worry, Daddy's home. I will build a wall. I will crush our enemies. I will make everything simple and safe again." But Hannah Arendt taught us to be deeply suspicious of simplicity. She would argue that this promise was never the source of your happiness. It was the source of your exhaustion. Why? Because you are being asked to trade your agency as a thinking citizen for the passive role of a protected child. The constant effort to shrink yourself, to quiet your own complex thoughts, to pretend that these simple answers are enough, that is the source of the bone-deep weariness so many of us feel. You are tired of playing the part of the grateful daughter. But after 40, something magnificent happens. We've played the part, and we have the scars to prove it didn't lead to the promised land. A new paradigm emerges. The goal is no longer to be desirable, but to be unshakable. The goal is no longer to find a partner to complete you, but to finally, fully find yourself. Peace of mind becomes the new grand prize. This is where we must reclaim our territory, and the most important territory is our own mind. Hannah Arendt gives us the tools. She made a crucial distinction between violence and power. Violence, she said, is what one man with a weapon has. It is instrumental. It can destroy, but it can never create anything. The protective father governs with the threat of violence against immigrants, against political opponents, against anyone who disrupts his simplistic order. Power, for Arendt, is completely different. Power is the ability of a group of people to come together, to speak, and to act in concert. Power is what the American founders called public happiness. It belongs to no single person, but to the group. It is creative, not destructive. So, the mature woman's journey is a shift from seeking a man who wields violence or the threat of it to claiming her own power by acting in concert with other thinking adults. It's about pruning the dead branches of the belief that you need a strong man to save you. It's about building your own kingdom of principles, forged in the fires of your own experience and intellect, not handed down from a podium. It is about taking the lead, rust, and iron of your life's challenges and learning to transform your scars into gold. How do we apply this wisdom in our daily lives? You see it when you're in a meeting and you're the only one questioning the group's consensus and you're labeled difficult. That is the Arendtian moment of choosing thought over conformity. You feel it when you go on a date and the man seems charming until he finds out you have strong, well-researched opinions about the economy or foreign policy, and he suddenly calls you intimidating. This is the key. An empowering reinterpretation of intimidating is this: you are not intimidating, you are an equal, and your equality dissolves the protective father fantasy he relies on to feel powerful. You are refusing to play the part of the child in his domestic drama. Your presence demands he meet you in what Hannah Arendt called the public square, the space of equals. His retreat is not your failure, it's proof of your power. This applies directly to politics. When you listen to a Trump rally, ask yourself, is this a gathering of equals engaged in debate, or is it a household rally where a father is assuring his children he has all the answers? Is he inviting thought or demanding faith? The answer tells you everything you need to know about whether you are being offered power or being subjected to control. When you are told to distrust the press, to distrust scientists, to distrust institutions, you are being told to distrust everything except the father. It is the classic tactic of isolation before subjugation. So we stand at a crossroads. One path is the path of stagnation. The other is the path of reclamation. The cost of stagnation is what Arendt called thoughtlessness. If we continue down the path of accepting the protective father, we outsource our moral and intellectual responsibility. We accept the simplistic narratives. We might feel safe for a while, but it's the brittle safety of a life lived in miniature. It leads to a quiet, simmering bitterness, a resentment that the protection we were promised comes with so many strings and costs us our very soul. Politically, the cost is democracy itself. Democracies die when their citizens become too tired, too scared, or too lazy to think for themselves. But the other path, the power of reclamation, that is where the beauty lies. The woman who reclaims her own mind is a force of nature. She might be politically alone at her own family's dinner table, but she never feels lonely because she is in conversation with the great minds of history, with the complexities of the present. She has found her own solid ground. She attracts whole people because she herself is whole. She possesses a calm that is deeply intimidating to mediocrity because it's not the calm of ignorance, but the calm of understanding. She has faced the chaos of the world without flinching and decided to think for herself. She has, in the truest sense of the word, grown up. Hannah Arendt's ultimate faith was in the public square, in the power that emerges when we come together to talk, to debate, to act. This journey from being a protected daughter to being a powerful citizen is not one we can make alone. We need our own public square. This is the call. This is an invitation to a sorority of thinking women, a community of women over 40 who are done with fairy tales and are ready to discuss reality. Women who understand that true safety doesn't come from a wall built by a strong man, but from the bonds we build with each other. Together, we can dissect these narratives. Together, we can find our political voice. Together, we can become the wise, powerful matriarchs the world actually needs. This isn't about left or right. It's about deep or shallow. It's about thought or thoughtlessness. If this message resonates with you, don't just like it, share it. Share it with a woman in your life who is learning to be her own fortress. By sharing this, you are doing more than sending a link. You are performing a political act. You are expanding the public square. You are helping to build the kind of thoughtful, engaged, and powerful sisterhood that can and will change the world.